What's up everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Harrison and you are here for Tutorial Tuesday. So following up on last week's Rick drawing, we are drawing his companion, his sidekick, his punching bag, Morty.
What is 5 times 9?
It's at least 40.
Morty, that's exactly correct.
Again, I just have to iterate, I love Rick and Morty. It is such a funny show, one of my favorites for sure. So I'm so happy I get to draw Morty for the first time with you guys. So grab your pencils, pens, sketchbooks, and your plasma guns, and let's dive on into this one. So in the center of your page, go ahead and draw a nice big circle. From there, if you like and it'll help you, you can cut that circle right in half. And then we're gonna draw 2 circles. That's gonna be Morty's eyes. And then about halfway will be his ears. So if it helps you mark kinda where things are at, you can drop those in right there. And then about halfway in between this part and the bottom, and split that, we're gonna draw in Morty's mouth. So we're gonna give him his like nervous expression. He's like kind of half smiling, half like unsure about the situation and if he's gonna perish in whatever adventure Rick has him on. And then right here in the middle, go ahead and drop in his nose. And these are the general shapes we need. So to clean it up and make it actually look like Morty, we're going to solidify our decisions here. His head really is this round, so follow the circle. And then you're gonna wanna leave this gap open for the ears. They do come like into the head, just like that. Solidify that eyeball. Same thing with that one. And again, just like Rick, they have like these like asterisk kind of pupils. And then we'll give Morty like a little unsure eyebrow and a raised one. His mouth, it's like a weird kind of bean shape. It still has that like bean-esque quality. And then put that there. This whole thing will get shaded in. And then if you really want to add to Morty's expression, go ahead and add the lower eyelids, and then we're gonna kind of remove some of that so it looks like I know it's kind of hard to see what I'm doing because I chose to draw way too hard. That's the problem. Sometimes if you draw way too hard or you press too hard with your pencil, you can leave a pencil mark that just is too stubborn and will not lift. So I recommend always drawing light, even though I did not heed my own advice. And now for Morty's hair. It's kind of boxy. It's really like kind of afro-y almost. You're gonna follow the same sort of curve. So what we can do to help is just right from the ears, you can draw like a boxy-ish shape. This is like the real general shape of Morty's hair. You're following the same arch, you're just giving it more volume. And then what you can do is you can just add some different, wave lines and patterns and textures to show that it has some form to it. And that's Morty's head. Now if you want to add Morty to a body and you don't want him just to be like floating around, we can quickly do that. He has a very, very simple body. It's even more simple than Rick's. So from literally from the head. Morty has no neck. I guess that makes sense because, yeah. So literally from here, you're going to just round out. And then he's got his arms, so you can give him arms there, and then his arm does come in from his sleeves. And then he's got like a really... We can probably shorten these sleeves. Don't need to be too aggressive. And then his arm comes out there. And then because we get to see where his hands land, we can draw him. He has a very simple hand, so thumb, just like so. Thumb, finger, 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 and guys, that's Morty. Now for the inking, just like last week, I'm going to be using my 0.8 micron. You can as well if you want to use a black pencil, a Sharpie. If you want to use dip pen and ink, you can use whatever you want. And we're going to ink this together, starting left to right, top to bottom, as always. Alright, here is the inks. Really easy, really quick. I'm gonna let this sit and dry while I wait for it to soak into the paper, and then I'll come back, erase, and then pop a color. Alright, I think it's been long enough, so let's get our kneaded eraser. Like I said, I pressed too hard and now the pencils won't lift, so I'm using my plastic eraser, which is like big cannons. Alrighty, that's that. Now for the pop of color. Because there's so much white space, I don't really want to fill in the entire thing with yellow, so we'll do a smaller box. We'll still get the point across here, but it's not going to be as large. I don't want to use that much marker. Alright, here is Morty. Oh my gosh, I love it. So good. I've had so much fun with this drawing. This was a blast. Another super simple one. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. And once you do, hit that bell notification so you know when I upload the next tutorial. If for some reason you did not enjoy today's lesson, please let me know down in the comments why that is, because I want to teach you the ways that you want to know how to draw and how to properly understand drawing. And on that note, if there's a character that you have yet to see in the playlist, please let me know who that is and I will gladly add them to the ongoing list. If you've been following along with Tutorial Tuesday for a while, I would love to see the progress in all the drawings that you're making. Please tag me on Instagram or TikTok and I will gladly check out your work. You can also follow me there and see all the things that I'm posting day to day, as well as the other tips and tricks that I'm frequently uploading. Thank you again for joining me in another awesome tutorial. I hope you had fun. I know I did. Remember to keep practicing, never give up, always draw. I will see you right back here next week for another awesome tutorial. Bye guys.
Because that means they can keep mining until Pluto goes from planet to asteroid to meteor and finally...
A party?
Is everyone in your family an idiot?
For sure, me and my dad are.